Meeting में है जब
Okay, so let me first start with what are the key contents, what we are going to. Is there an echo? Audio is clear?
Yeah, it is.
It's clear.
Is
No.
there an echo?
Yes,
Fine.
echo is there.
Echo is there?
Echo is there.
Just give a moment. What about now? Is that fine?
Fine.
Some latency is coming here.
Latency in terms of what? Audio?
Or
No, it's fine. Okay.
It's
So
better for me. I don't know. Might be.
Sometimes like it's lost connection, just like
I think the person who was talking, I think your audio is scrambled. So maybe the issue is on your side.
It might be he will disconnect and he will
Okay.
rejoin.
Okay. Fine. If in case the audio breaks or something happens, let me know. Okay. Fine. So let me start with again telling about myself so that we will continue with the flow. So like I said, I am Rohan and I carry an experience working in the network security domain for 12 plus years, and I have worked with OEM companies like ranging from Palo, Fortinet, Cisco, Juniper, Zscaler, okay, Netscope, and all that. And during this working tenure, I have been working closely with a lot of customers, clients from small to the enterprise level businesses. So I think I have a fair amount of knowledge and idea that what the customer looks for. The cases, the scenarios, the situations, what I have handled, that is what is my core competitive skills, what I bring on the course as well, in order to tell you how you can emphasize on building your tissue skills. The main objective of this course is not only to tell you about the Fortigate firewall, but also to make sure that you can apply those concepts in your day-to-day job to troubleshoot the problems. Okay. Now, when I will show you the course content of the Fortigate firewall, you will notice one thing, that the topics, whatever we have in the Fortigate firewall, broadly we are covering all the concepts, all. Okay. But theory is not only the core focus for this. The course will progress in two phases or in two ways. First, we will try to focus on the concept. I will help you to build the concept behind any topic that we are going to start. Let's take an example. For example, let's say if I say you that, okay, you can build a cluster, right? So let's say we can take a topic of an HA cluster. So forming a cluster between FortiGate firewall is hardly 5-second job, because you only have to run 3 commands and you are in the cluster. So do you just need to know that? No. The point is, how does the cluster work? Why do I need the cluster? If in case you see any problem with reference to cluster functioning, performance, okay, how you will approach to that. So to answer all these, the basics of the cluster is very much needed. And that is where you will see that the basics starts from layer 1. When I say layer 1, my reference is towards the OSI model, layer 1 to layer 7, right? So to understand the cluster concept, why we need a cluster, how does the cluster work, we need to be very good in layer 2, layer 3 concepts. So those things will be covered. That's how we are going to start or end any topic. So we will try to build the basic fundamentals with reference to theories. Then followed by that, we will then try to prove that concept in the lab. Okay, so this is the two phase that how we are going to progress on each and every topic. Okay, building the basics and then confirming that on the lab. Okay, now let me quickly go through that topics. Now, okay, I will give the clarity with reference to the NSE4 and 7 later on, but let me first tell you what are the topics, course content that we are going to cover in here. So what you are seeing on the screen is basically the part of the NSE4, which requires you to have the basic manageability, configuration, and troubleshooting knowledge of the Fortigate firewall. Okay. So if you will see the topics, it is asking you to go with reference to the introductions and all, right? So you can go with the intros. Then followed by that, you can go with the security fabric concepts, firewall policies. How does the policies works with reference to all types of policies that the firewall supports? How do they work, right? The concept of the NATing, the authentication of the firewalls. Here, when I say firewall authentication, that means how does the Fortigate firewall will help you to implement the authentication feature with reference to your network deployment. I may want that my users will be authenticated with reference to LDAP, radius, maybe with reference to single SSO setup or AD polling structure, right? So this concept will cover that part, that how you will configure the firewall in order to make sure that your firewall is compatible with any authentication method or services what you're going to use to deploy in your network. Okay. Now, logging and monitoring, that is going to tell you the basics, that where you can see the logs, events with reference to GUI as well as with reference to the CLI. What are the various logging features, parameters, how to go through that, what does each and every log means. Okay, so that is what it contains. Certificate, in terms of how does the firewall uses the certificate in order to give you the sense of the security. Okay, so actually certificate will play a vital role when we will touch the security part of the Fortigate firewall. Okay, you will see that certificate has a very critical role in order to inspect any encrypted traffic. Okay, so we will learn about the certificates, the science behind it. Okay, so all these things will be covered. Now, web filtering, application control, AV, and IPS. These features are included with reference to your UTM features. Okay, so this is nothing but your UTM features. This one. UTM means Unified Threat Management. Apart from these, the features like video filter, your file filter, DNS filter, these things will also be covered. Okay, so these are the aspects. Actually, if you will count from certificates from this point to this point, this is your UTM. Okay, so that is going to be actually if like this is the part which makes it the firewall functioning. Okay, because rest all parts is something which you can see on a normal router also, right? Router can also help you to apply the policies, NATing, authentications, and all that, VPNs and all. But what is the major difference with reference to router and the firewall? This is what the UTM features stands for. So these things will be covered in terms of the VPN, SSL, and IPsec VPN will be covered. Here you can see that. Okay, so in the IPsec VPN, we are also going to cover the site-to-site dial-up as well as the AD VPN, which you will see in the part of NSE7. Okay, but those are all part of the IPsec. Now, in terms of routing, the things what we are going to cover is static, BGP, OSPF, PBR, policy-based routing. Okay, so these things will be covered in the routing section. Okay, we will learn the basics of it, how to troubleshoot onto it. Okay, we will also cover the SD-WAN functionality of the Fortigate firewall. Okay, so okay, let me take a pause in here and explain you about the SD-WAN so that everyone has that section cleared in their mind. Fortigate firewall has SD-WAN as a feature. Okay, this is Fortigate firewall is one of few firewalls which has SD-WAN functionality inbuilt. Okay, now the basic question is, if I learn the SD-WAN feature with reference to the Fortigate firewall, does it mean that I can work on a separate SD-WAN device? Right? That's the basic question, because we also have a separate SD-WAN product in the market, right? To answer that question, let me take an analogy as an example and all. Do you think that if you have learned the firewall, you need to learn a router? Does anyone think that if I have learned the firewall, I need to learn the router separately? The answer would be no, right? Because whatever the router does, firewall does the same thing. You covered the routing sections in the firewall also, right? If you know routers, do you need to learn the switch separately as a whole? Maybe not, because router can act as a layer 2 device as well, right? Yes or no? So if you open the SD-WAN product, or if anyone has worked onto that SD-WAN product, feel free to give your input in here. SD-WAN device also is giving you the same functionality of VPNs, IPsec, SSL, DTLS, and TLS tunnels, UTM functionalities, what you're seeing on the firewall, policies, NATings, authentications. Okay, they're also giving you those features also. And apart from that, there is something what the SD-WAN has it as a device, right? Like when we say that, okay, hey, we need a firewall. Why you need a firewall when you have a router? Because there is something which a router cannot do, right? Only a firewall can do. And what is that something? UTM functionalities, the action of the power of the IPS. That is what makes firewall stand out from the router, right? So similarly, there is some essence which is only lies with the SD-WAN. 5 years back, no one heard about the SD-WAN device, right? The entire world was working happily with switches, routers, firewalls, LB devices and all, right? But since 5 years, we have started hearing the buzzword SD-WAN, SD-WAN. Why? Because there was some challenge in the network which routers, switch, firewall, LBs could not solve. And that's why a new product was launched in the market, correct? So if I tell you that what is the essence of SD-WAN? What is that solution? You do not need to learn a SD-WAN as a separate device. Got it? Clear? Any doubts with reference to SD-WAN? Guys? I see 2 messages. Let me check. I think the session is getting recorded. Yeah, okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Can we do inter-VLAN routing using SD-WAN?
You can do anything, whatever you want. Okay.
Okay.
And I will tell you that how to think on to all those questions. Okay. Do I need, it's like, can I do this? Okay. Can I do that with the SD-WAN, right? So you do not need to look in a different manner. I will give you a tips and tricks how to think when you're working on an SD-WAN. And believe me, when I will decode this, you will feel like, okay, it's nothing. It's like just simple, some device who can give me a routing plus LB function. That's all. That is what it is. Okay, so you combine actually basically 5 features into an SD-WAN and you have got your SD-WAN solution. That's why the name itself says software defined WAN. It's SD, software defined, right? So there are 5 features what it does, okay, which I will tell you in depth when I will explain you the problem, and then you will see what is the solution what we have in the SD-WAN. Okay, so there you will see all those things getting clear. Okay, fine. Okay, so if you ask me that if I go through the SD-WAN features in reference to the Fortigate firewall, does it mean that I have covered the SD-WAN? My answer would be yes. Yes, you have covered the SD-WAN as a device as well. If I see overall Fortigate firewall, then yes, you have. Okay, there might be some bits and pieces what the SD-WAN is giving you extra, like I mentioned, TLS based tunnels, DTLS based tunnels, right? So those things is not in the Fortigate firewall. So those bits and pieces would be something which is additional in the SD-WAN. Rest all 90% plus things are same. So if you have learned the Fortigate firewall and the SD-WAN as a feature of it, you can work on as any SD-WAN device that may come across your desk. Okay. Now, furthermore, we will also cover the concept of the VDOMs. Okay, clustering, the proxy action of the firewall, and this is the basic troubleshooting T-shoots. Okay, so this is part of the NSE4. Now here, the T-shoot, what it is asking you to learn in terms of the NSE4 is the basic T-shoot, not the advanced troubleshooting. Okay, now I will explain you the difference between the NSE4 and 7 content. But before that, let me also show you what is the content in the NSE7. This is the NSE7 content. Okay, if you will look closely, every topic is same, what we just discussed, except I think AD VPN is extra here, and yeah, FortiGuard. This is also a basic feature. Architecture, rest all is same, right? OSPF, BGPs, web filtering, IPS, these all are UTMs, right? IPsec VPNs, AD VPN. This is nothing but the hub and the spoke setup. Okay, so that is what it is talking about. So that is all. Now the question is, then what is the difference between NSE4 and 7? If I have to learn almost similar types of topics in the Fortigate firewall, then what's the difference between that? Let's take an example. For example, if you are NSE4 certified, or you have learned the knowledge, or if I have only given you the knowledge for or at NSE4 level, it means if the customer asks you that, hey, I have to configure my firewall to block the certain set of users to access a certain category of websites, you can do that. You can easily configure that. That's the NSE4 level knowledge. Let's say after the configuration, the customer says, hey, this configuration sometimes works. Sometimes my users are reporting that they are able to access those websites, although we have the blocking in place. So you may be able to verify the logs because you have a fair amount of an idea that where to check for the basic logs. You can verify the configurations and all these things you can do. Okay. But if the customer asks you that how does the configuration is ensuring that the firewall is able to block a certain website for certain users, what is going behind the scene? How does the firewall know that, hey, this traffic belongs to a certain user and he is trying to access what? How does he know that? Right? Now that is the level of knowledge. If you want, you will get it only from NSE7. Meaning NSE7 wants the engineers to have the device level knowledge, the behind the scene action. You should exactly be fully aware that when a firewall receives a packet, what it looks for, what it is checking, what is the parameter, what is the header, what is the field inside that header that the firewall is checking for, and how does the firewall know, okay, hey, this is such a traffic, let's block it. Think now, I may not want that my users are not able to access the Facebook. See, the problem is the world is no more black and white. The worlds are mostly now working in the gray areas. Meaning, if I ask you to block the Facebook or I ask you to allow the Facebook, it might be a very easy task for you. Okay, you can do it in multiple ways. Maybe through the web filtering option, maybe through the ISDB based policy option, maybe through the firewall policy itself, just by defining a FQDN address object, you may be able to do that. Okay, but what if I ask that, okay, hey, Facebook should be working, but you should not be able to block, or sorry, you should be able to block the Facebook Messenger. You should not be able to chat. You should not be able to post any content on the Facebook. But you can log in on the Facebook. You can see the other posts and all, but you cannot post it. You cannot like that post. Now, see, I want you to control the application behavior, right? I want you to granularly control it. The Facebook is working, but I will choose what will work inside the Facebook or not. Now, the real question is, how does the firewall know that if I click the Facebook like button, the firewall will stop it? It will say, no, you cannot. But how does the firewall know? Because every every packet is going after the SSL handshake, right? The Facebook is acting on the HTTPS protocol. So every message between the client and the server is encrypted. So how did the firewall know that it's a Facebook-like packet, right? So these things will be covered, the extent of the knowledge in the NSE7. Now, see, the point is, since the topics are same, so why we will start the topic from basics and leave it in mid, right? When we will start something, we will finish it till the end. That's why in this course, we have covered NSE4 and 7 both. So because the topics are same, so none of the topics will be covered only for the basics parameter. No, we will cover from basics to the advanced level. So that's how this course will go. Clear? Any doubts with reference to the topics? Guys, any questions with reference to that? If you're not comfortable to speak, you can always leave a message in the chat. I can respond to that as well.
So daily we have the session for 1 hour or the 2 hours actually? Are we going to
I will
use a regular
come
classes?
to the batch timings and all. I will come
fine.
to that.
Okay.
For now, just let me know if there is any question with reference to the topics that we are going to cover in this session. Topics are clear what we are going to cover?
It's okay.
Okay. Now,
so sir, actually NSE8 is there in the market, so like we know that what comes under NSE4 and what is NSE7 now, but NSE8 is also there, so can you please update on that as well?
Sure. See, NSE8 requires you to have minimum 6 product knowledge of Fortinet. See, Fortinet is a company, is a brand name, under which there are several flagship products. One of that product is Fortigate. If you plan for the NSE8, then you must be knowledgeable about 6 Fortinet products like FAZ, Forti Analyzer, FMG, Forti Manager, Forti Auth, Forti AP, Forti Switch, Forti Router, Fortigate, which is your firewall, okay, and several more. So there are a lot of products under the banner of Fortinet. So when you say that, okay, I am going to be an NSE8, that means you are claiming to learn or to have the knowledge about 6 devices of Fortinet. Clear? Yes, when you say that I am NSE7 certified, that means here you can be choosy that, okay, hey, I am NSE certified in the security firewall domain. Okay, so now your examination is completely focused on the Fortigate firewall, not on any other product.
So, sir, Fortigate firewall is the only one appliance or one certification, right? The same way we have to do 6 certification or 6 devices.
No. When you go for the NSE8 examination, that is the lab based. There are two, one is theory based and one is lab based. Okay. So when you go for that, your questions will be based on the entire Fortinet devices structure. Okay, entire.
Got it, sir. Yeah. Like the CCI in Cisco.
Yes, like the CCIE in the Cisco.
In the Cisco.
That's how you have to be in the Fortinet. So it means like you should be aware about all the Fortinet devices.
So got it, sir. Yeah, completely understand, sir.
Now, see here. Now, since we are clear with reference to the topics what we are going to cover and the device what we are going to focus on, that is Fortigate firewall. Okay. Now let me tell you, apart from this, what we are going to have in this course. Now, like I said, the motive of this course is not only to give you the knowledge of the Fortigate firewall, but to give you the knowledge which you can use on the day. Yes, please. Is there a question? Is there a question? Okay, guys, if you have a question, then please unmute yourself and like talk, else you can be on mute.
So, sorry. Actually, I want to ask this, that in SD-WAN, how many topic you will cover? Just like policy or any basics?
I'm sorry, I'm not getting a question. Your audio is scrambled for me.
Just not, am I audible? Hello?
Your audio is breaking. Can you just write your question in the chat? I can answer that.
Okay, okay.
Sure, thank you. Now, like what I was mentioning is, apart from this, for each and every topic, we are going to talk about the day-to-day real examples, okay, that what you may come across, you may face across. What are the approach for this to solve the problem? I will also give you a separate troubleshooting class, okay, which may go for 4 hours, 6 hours. That depends upon how you guys are going to respond into that classes. The more you ask, the better it is. But I will give you the fundamentals of troubleshooting in order to think how to approach a problem. Okay, I get a question in SD-WAN, which topic you will cover? SD-WAN is a topic, brother. In SD-WAN, we are going to cover everything. Whatever the SD-WAN gives, we are going to cover that. Okay? Whatever is in the SD-WAN, everything will be covered. That is its policies, it's like monitoring, its routes, whatever. Okay? Clear, Deepinder? Okay, fine. Okay, so T-shoot is also like the next major thing that we are going to cover in this course. Okay, now let me show you quickly the lab, what we have. Just give a moment. And then I'll come to the batches, timings, and all that. But let me also first show you the lab, what we have, and how we are going to progress in the lab as well. So this is the link what I am using in order to get the lab access. When you will enroll into the course, each one of you will receive a respective lab URL as well as the login username and password. Okay. Your link will be same. The only difference would be the port number on which your lab will work. Okay. So once you log in into that, you will see something like not this. This is the basic lab what I have configured, but you will see something like this. Come on. Okay, the power of node actions, stop all nodes. Okay. So you will see something like this. Okay, so this is the list of the labs what we have. Okay, what I have configured. Now, most of the classes will be done on this lab. Okay, so to prove my point, like I mentioned that my focus is on the core concept. Okay, see my basic lab. This is a PC, a Cisco router, firewalls connecting to the internet. That's all. PC to the ISP. That simple. You will not see me doing any complex lab or something like that. Why? It's not that if someone wants to do a complex lab, you cannot do it. Of course, just show me your diagram. I will create that lab for you. The only thing you do not have is the access to create the lab. You can do anything that you want, as many times as you want. Doesn't matter. But if you want to do any lab on a different setup, topologies and all, let me know. I will create the structure for you. And that is something which we have done for a lot of people. Okay, I have done for a lot of people. You can see that. Okay, so anyone who wanted something, okay, something simpler, something complex, whatever they wanted, we have configured the lab for them as well. Okay, we have done it. But you just have to tell me and I will create it for you. Now, coming to my point, what I was trying to mention is with reference to the basics of the lab is why my lab is such a simple thing? Because my focus is on the concept. And believe me, I don't want anyone in my class to learn two things: configuration and command lines. Fortigate firewall, 70% of the things will be done on the command lines, 30% will be done on the GUI. And that is how you will see that I will myself will be doing in the entire course. But I don't want you all to learn CLI commands and configuration. That is not the goal. CLI commands and configuration is something which you can find in the Google. As well as I will give you my personal CLI command notes to troubleshoot any problem. What are the commands you have to learn? Like execute for VPN problem, for CPU problem, for memory problem, for the traffic loss problem, or whatever that is. I will give you that list. Do not worry. Okay. I don't want you to focus onto that, because the more the lab you do, commands is something which you will learn eventually while doing the labs. You do not sit and learn those or cramp those commands. You do not do that, because if you do, believe me, after 5 days or 6 days, no matter how smart you are, you will lose your commands. That is a fact. And if the people who are working will like agree with this statement, what I've just made, right? You will lose that. So do not try to learn the commands. Once you do the, yes, please, is there something? Yes, tell me. Badru Jaman, is there a question? Okay, I'm putting you on mute. If you have a question, please unmute yourself and then you can speak. Okay, so so you do not have to worry about the command lines and like configurations. Okay, do not worry about that. You only have to do one thing, that is ask me your questions. My job is to give you the concept. See, if I tell you how does a ping work, or how does a three-way handshake, TCP three-way handshake goes with reference to PC1 towards the Google server, whatever that is hosted over the internet, right? If I tell you that, do you think you need a complex structure to learn that? No. How does a ICMP packet work or a ping work from PCA to PCB with a router in between? That is sufficient for me to work on any other topology, because the ping nature will not change, right? Neither the TCP, UDP, whatsoever. The traffic nature does not change in complexity of the device's deployment. That remains same, no matter how big a structure you have, right? So the focus is on the core concept. So the simplicity is sufficient to give you the insight depth of each and every concept that I needed to teach you in this entire course. Okay, I will show you the packet level knowledge, what is going on, how it is going on, what is changing, why it is changing, where it is changing. Okay, so that's the concept. If you have a doubt with reference to that, speak your mind out in the class itself. Get this from me. That's all. Because rest all things, those are the things which you will eventually get while you are doing the labs. You do not have to learn those things. Okay, clear? So whatever the concepts or the topics what I have just shown you in the previous slides, whatever the theories that I will tell you in the class, whatever the concepts that I will try to build inside the class, I will prove each and everything in the lab. You do not have to trust a single word if I have not shown you that in the lab. Because it's not my words against yours or yours against mine, right? It's all about the logs. What I see on the device, I will believe that. It's that simple, right? That's how we also work on the day-to-day cases. Customers may have whatever they want to say and all, but if I show them the proper logs, say, hey, this is what I'm seeing, and based upon that, I'm like giving the result that, okay, this is the problem, and like this is the next plan of the action that you have to follow. Even the customer will accept that, because whatever I have said is based upon the logs, what I have seen on your device. So it's all about the logging, right? So we will see that. Okay, clear? Second thing, there will be no lab task that will be given by me to you, which I have not done and shown by myself. Each and every task and lab will be done by me. I will do it. Everything goes on the recorded line. So so that whenever you have the time, you can rewatch that. You can see what I have done. You can just try to replicate the same thing on your own lab. You can do it, or you want to do something different, you can do it. If you come across any doubts, concerns, you can ask me in the class, but everything will be done by me. I will do it. Okay, I will show you how it works. Clear? So any doubts with reference to the lab part?
So, sir, regarding lab, so we can access like 24/7, right, sir?
Yes, you have 24/7 access of the lab. Whenever, however, wherever you want, you can have the access.
Okay, sir. Sir, second point, sir, is this like what is like is this available after this course for some time or
Yes,
how it is?
yes, you have. I think you have till 1 year, if I'm not wrong. But
Okay,
you
sir.
can
It's
get the timing
perfect.
confirmed with reference to the coordinators. But if I'm not wrong, you have the access for 1 year and beyond that also.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, to the next part, the course timings, durations, and all. This is the weekday batch. That means from Monday to Friday. The course will start from 9 to 11. Okay, 2 hours of the class will be. The total hours that I need to cover this course is between, I think, 50 hours to 55 hours. Okay, so 50 to 55 hours I need, but that also depends with reference to the batch tempo. Okay, so it's not a hard fixed 50 hours. Okay, if the batch is like let's say you want me to go too slow, I'm okay with that. You want me to pick up the pace, I'm okay with that. But whatever the tempo and the pace of the batch will be decided by the people. You guys will decide that. So if the batch can be completed in 40 hours, can be completed in 80 hours, it doesn't matter. Timing is not a constraint for me. But whatever the classes and batches what I have been taking from 6 years, on an average 50 to 55 hours is something what I need to cover the entire firewall, Fortigate firewall. Now, keeping that in mind, to not extend the batch to a very longer period and all, so 2 hours minimum, that is something which we need for a day. So from Monday to Friday, you will see that the classes will go for 2 hours. Now, keep in mind, it is not also hard fixed for 2 hours. Like I said, it's up to you people. Sometimes you may feel, okay, hey, this is sufficient. I think we should not start a new thing. Let's stop in here. It's like only 90 minutes for the day. I'm also okay with that. Okay, you want me to continue? Hey, let's finish the topic. Let's extend it for more 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm also okay with that. But on an average, I need 2 hours per day. Clear? And that's how the course will be. So keep in mind that this course is going to be from 9 to 11 p.m. IST. Okay, from Monday to Friday. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir. I have one question here, sir.
Yes, please.
So, sir, let's suppose one day we did 2 hour class 9 to 11, and then after 11 p.m. After that we sleep, right, and we'll wake up, and then we'll wake up in the morning, and then we will go to office, and for by that time we need to do the lab on that. So, like, if we'll take back-to-back classes, then when we will do the
No, see, okay,
practice.
let me answer that. Total, there are 5 working days, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. In 5 working days, if ideally if we go that 2 hours of class, that means 10 hours of talking, correct?
Yes, sir.
In that 10 hours, believe me, hardly there would be 8 hours of real deals. 2 hours is of the questions, counter questions, and all that, right? Breaks and what not, correct? Now you have weekends, so 2 days is sufficient to cover whatever we have covered in 7 to 8 hours, right? To even to revise that 7 to 8 hours is sufficient if assuming that you have done nothing in your weekdays. Even if you do not do anything during the daytime, then also I think Saturday and Sunday is sufficient to revise whatever we have covered in 5 days, right? Hardly 10 hours, right? Now, Next thing, whatever I have covered, it is not that, okay, we have covered something in that day one, you can only ask me the doubts for that day one till day 5 or day 6 or day 7 or day 8. No. People have their own jobs, classes or something, okay, your own life and all. So take your own time. During the entire course duration, even on the last day, if you have a doubt what I have covered on the day one, you can ask me. I will be telling you the answers, not a problem. Okay. So asking the questions is not a problem in my class. Whenever, however you want, you can ask me. Clear?
So sir,
We
we
have to
can,
give some time onto that. Okay, so
we,
weekend is something
yeah.
which you have completely with yourself, Saturday, Sunday, and all, as well as daytimes you have something. So if you will cover all that, 9 hours of class is something which you can easily cover in a week.
So we can also share our labs, whatever we do, right? If we stuck somewhere something, then we can share with you.
See,
Right?
anyhow, you will have, let me see, like I mentioned that I will be doing all the labs by myself, right? Everything will be recorded. So if you are stuck at doing some activity, you can always rewatch the video, what I did. Okay, so that will clear your doubts onto that. Second, when the class will start, I will ask someone to take a lead to create a WhatsApp group. Okay, so you all can join into that, and if someone has a question and all, it's always good to share on the WhatsApp so that each one of you can help each one, right? So it's kind of a knowledge sharing. Okay, KT sessions. So that is also going to help you to do your day-to-day task. And if still you are not able to fix or find that problem solutions, I'm with you on daily from 9 to 11, right? So you can always ask me your doubts.
So sir, we can make our labs as you already
You can do
spoke
what?
about that. Yes. So we can do that, and also we can troubleshoot.
Huh? Yes.
Okay.
Let's say
Yes.
there is something that, okay, it is not working, right? So of course, I will ask you to share your screen. Show me your
Yeah.
lab where you are stuck at. And
Because a
I will say,
there is no issue with the predefined labs, right? Which you make it. But if there are any lab which we make it according to our production or our lab, and
of
in
course,
that if we stuck, yeah.
like I have told you, you have to just show me your diagram, what you want, and I will create it for you. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Just tell me what you want and I will do it for you. Not a problem. Okay. But yes, the courses, the classes, what I will teach or whatever the concepts, what I will do is mostly on the basics of the lab. Now, and like this is not the only lab what I have. Okay. Like, let me show you more labs, what I will be using in order to tell you the things about, like, for example, clustering, right? So for clustering, I use this lab. It's a simple cluster setup, what I use in order to configure the cluster and explain you the basics behind the scene, what goes inside it. Okay. Similarly, I have OSPF BGP labs in a different way. This is the BGP lab. Okay. So this is also something that we are going to use. You can use that. OSPF lab is something different. Okay. I will show you the OSPF as well. Hub and spoke, the AD VPN concept, what I was talking about. I will be using this lab. Okay. So I also have multiple labs to explain you different concepts and all, where I think that I need to have a different lab. Okay. But like I said, that my labs are pretty simple. Okay. Because
So,
the focus is concept.
sir, are we doing any third-party integration? We will learn that also.
Now, third-party
Yeah,
integration is something
from
which we cannot
Fortigate
do
to
in here
AWS.
because no.
Okay.
That is something where you need a cloud-based licensing, right?
Okay, sir. So any concept is there like we can learn about like
I will
from
tell you
40.
about the concepts. See, the
Okay,
point
sir.
is there was a topic here, security fabric. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
Security fabric is a concept which helps the Fortigate firewall to integrate with any other similar or a
Okay, sir.
third-party vendor devices. That
Okay.
can be a public SDN, that is the cloud, or the private cloud. It can be any on-prem servers, Windows, Linux, whatever you want. It can be any authentication-based servers. Okay. It can be any similar vendor products like FMG, FAZ, whatsoever. Okay. FortiCloud. Okay. Wherever you want the firewall to be integrated, it can do it easily for you. Now, I will tell you the concept behind it. How does it work? What it is, what we need to do. See, let me tell you one more thing so that the expectation is very, very clear. When we are going to enroll into this course now, okay, I'm going to tell you with reference to the concept of Fortigate security. To like generalize it, network security. Your job or my job is not to troubleshoot the AD server. Keep that in mind. When I say that I will learn the authentication on the Fortigate firewall, I mean that I should know how to configure the authentication on my firewall and how I can troubleshoot the authentication on my firewall. It doesn't mean that I need to configure AD server.
Yes, sir.
Got it? Because AD server is a Microsoft domain. Those things are with the Windows team. The Windows guys will take care of that, right?
No, that that we
Nobody
understand,
will.
sir. Yeah.
So if we will try to learn each and everything, no, I should know how does that AD is configured, how does that LDAP is configured, how does that IDS is configured and all. That's not my purse. It's like job, JD, scope. My focus is on the Fortigate firewall. Whatever comes in purview of my Fortigate firewall, I need to see that. So I will give you an sense how to think. What is your boundary? What extent you can go on to with reference to your device? Beyond that, it's my job, of course, to confirm that where is the problem. See, if like customer comes to me and I cannot say him, okay, hey, the problem is not on my firewall, check on your switch. Why he will believe me that? What if the switching team has confirmed that the problem?
Sir, actually, why I asked this question, because now we are working on this like integration Fortinet to AWS, and I requested to Fortinet tag that I need the document. So they shared with me the Fortinet to Fortinet integration on that, because we need to make a tunnel on the transparent mode. So the firewall is working as a transparent, and on that the network is already going, right? Default route is there both on that. So on that we need to create a tunnel, and that tunnel is taking the route to the AWS. So here I asked them to please share the document with me. So they are not able to do that because I'm chasing these guys last 10 to 15 days, but they are not responding. They are saying that we are searching that document so that we will help you out, because this is the production environment. We don't want to test. My management is saying we need the document from the Fortinet, then only we will do the configuration. So I asked them to please share any documents. So they have shared only Fortinet to Fortinet troubleshooting on, or the configuration tunnel, everything that I have. But when I asked please share the Fortinet to third party or AWS or any which you can share with us, so that I can showcase my management and ask them, and I'll take the approval from them. So they are not able to give it to me. That's why I asked you, sir.
They have to test in their lab, right? Then only they
Yes,
can able to conclude it.
Sir, yeah, because this is banking environment, sir.
I am skeptical about this because I have worked with the Fortinet. I myself was some years back. I was the tech part of that product. How they are finding it difficult, man?
I'm not sure, sir. I'll show you. I'll
You
show you the
can find this in the
document.
Google also.
Yeah.
How they are finding it difficult to find
Sir,
to like share the document with you. It's available on the Google. Okay.
So I'll show you the case note there. I'm not, because I need from them only from Fortinet. I need from the Fortinet. I can't doubt. Yes, sir.
You see this?
Yes, sir. I can see that. IPsec. So here I need one thing, sir. This is the site-to-site VPN and AWS. So I need the because what happened here is I need to create a tunnel right on the transparent mode firewall. So there we don't assign any IP address on that. So for peer-to-peer, we need to assign IP address both the sides. So here I just asked them, please share the document for that. Even this document they did not share with me whatever I can see.
Mode, that means you are looking for frame your question in a proper way. Okay. Maybe the guy who is handling, he's not aware of L2 tunnel. Ask him, since I am using a transparent mode device, okay, so share me the document how to build a layer 2 tunnel with reference to the Fortigate firewall and the cloud. Okay. Then they might find the correct one and like give it to you, because
same, sir,
transparent mode you have to build an L2 level tunnel.
L2 level tunnel, sir. But
Yes,
sir, existing traffic should not impact on that.
Why it will impact?
So they are not giving this and this is the worry about actually we can't do on it anything.
Existing traffic is like going with what?
So, sir, what happened here is
Okay,
what
wait,
happened.
wait. Just give a moment, man. Just give a moment. Please wait. I missed one thing. I am the